feel really lucky that both somatics and relationship to death and dying have been so loud in my education, in my development, in my uh, land of interests. Um, they they really need each other. And let me see if, in just a few words, I can explain what I mean by that. Um, Death and dying, at least in Western culture and dominant culture, if we dare still call it that, it left dying, it left the fact of death out of the conversation. In doing so, uh, over time, we've gotten really bad at a lot of things, and that's endings. And endings are absolutely a part of life. In fact, uh, I remember looking down at my newborn and really taking in that I invited a being into a life that eventually has an end, right? Um, in looking at life, we also need to look at death. I mean, if we want to look reality, um, in its eyes. Given that we don't have practice as a culture, as a society, in inviting death to the table and including it as a part of our conversations and including it in how we are taking in our day-to-day experience. There's a lack of capacity for being with death, for being with dying, for being not only with the fact of it, but the process of it, if there is a process. I mean, it's hard. The one in us who is built to live and built to lean into life is really challenged by the fact that it ends. Absolutely. In me and everyone I've spoken to. And if we strengthen our nervous system to be able to include, right, if our capacity is strong enough to include a lot of sensation and feeling, if we're strong enough to have all of that sensation, feeling, emotion, thoughts, and stay present, which is a thing, right? Presence is a thing. It means I am aware of what is occurring for me. I am aware of what's occurring around me. I am aware of the level of activation that's going on for me or not. We don't need to be settled and regulated at all times, but being present, being aware, and also with our experience and the experiences before us, around us, behind us. If we can make room for them, not only in thought, not only because we want to, but in our ability, then we can really be together, right? A few really important points. One is that typically when fear rises, there can be a pull in, out of connection with other, into ourselves. It can be very lonely. I can't tell you how many people, when I'm talking about death and dying, or even in circles, when emotion starts to move around this topic, how people pull into themselves habitually. There are plenty of other cultures. There are plenty of other practices that have people, collapsing into each other, reaching towards each other, crying together. And that allows the body to keep living, right? It doesn't shrink. It doesn't stop breathing. It doesn't pull in and away from life. And so somatics has come in really handy to kind of deal with the lack of capacity that has just habituated over the years.